It's 5:30, August 15th, 2022. We'll go ahead and do roll call for the council meeting tonight.
Creener.
Present.
McConnell.
Present.
Fortune.
Here.
Buska.
Yes.
Harmon. Present.
Next, we have the consent agenda with 10 items on it, including the approval of the agenda, approval of the claims, approval of minutes from August 1, 2022. Number 4, approval of Class C liquor license for Good Times Grill LLC, DBA Good Times Grill. Number 5, approval of Class C beer permit and Class B wine permit, BC with Sunday service to Quick Trip Inc., DBA Quick Star number 428. Number 6, approval of the street closing permit for a portion of North Elm Street and 2nd Avenue West for the Norman Borlaug Harvest Fest, August 27th, 2022, and Southside parking lot, August 24th through the 28th of 2022. Number 7, approval of parade permit for portions of 6th Avenue West and North Elm Street for the Norman Borlaug Harvest Fest Parade, August 27th, 2022. Number 8, approval of application for tax abatement under the Urban Revitalization Plan for Richard Langrick. Number 9, approval of application for tax abatement under the Urban Revitalization Plan for Gene Wenthold. And number 10, approval of pay request number 2 for $2,137.50 to Meemert Tiling, Inc. for the runway drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Carmen.
Yes.
Buska.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
Creener.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Next, we'll have a report from the Public Works.
Okay, the stoplight on the southwest corner of Elm Street and Highway 9 was run over by a Heartland asphalt truck last week. I've been in contact with Perry Novak Electric about it. They got a couple quotes from a company, but new poles are 45 to 60 days out minimum. So I talked to them, and we're going to rig something up for the meantime so we can have a light there, because it's a pretty dangerous intersection now. So they'll be here Wednesday or Thursday to do that, and that'll be there until we can get a new pole. We recently had a DNR water sanitary survey, and we received the report back with only a few things to look at, no deficiencies or recommendations, which is good for the finished product. And then we sampled our sludge storage tank and took them to the lab in Waterloo. When we get those back, we'll work with Avika to come up with a plan for disposal. We want to have all that ready so when the time comes, we can just get it taken care of. So that's all I got.
Okay. Next is a police report. Tim is gone tonight. I see he left us some statistics from July. After that, we've got administration updates.
This week, I think all I got done was writing ordinances. So now I'm hoping to get started on budget amendment and getting started on the CIP to get that out to the department heads so they can start doing their big projects. So.
Okay. Last for staff reports, committee updates.
I have one. Just the chamber meeting was last week, and basically their audit was done this week, which was approved. There's somebody on the housing committee, 2 apartments for to be remodeled, and they didn't get that approved. Some talk about community action group to partner with the CID group. August 17th is meet and greet with the new people that moved in town, which is the superintendent, 7th grade principal, and then 2 new doctors at Regional Health. So that's the 17th from 4 to 5. Ribbon cutting, Broken Road Bar, and hopefully Good Times Bar coming up. They're going to do it. It looks like to me it's going to be what the notes I have was, it's going to be open over Harvest Fest, but basically you're not cooking much food, just appetizers.
Are you with Good Times?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
We'll be open bar only for the Harvest Fest.
Okay.
We'll have some live entertainment upstairs and just kind of a showcase of the progress so far. And we should start training staff the week after that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
That's all I got.
Okay. Any other committee updates? None? Okay. Any comments from the audience? Okay, we'll move on to the Agenda for tonight, the first one is a public hearing to amend Chapter 99 of the City of Cresco Code of Ordinances pertaining to sewer and sewer charges.
I did not receive any written comments.
If there's no comments, we'll close the public hearing. Number 2, the second reading of proposed ordinance number 496, which amends Chapter 99, Sections 02 and 03 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa pertaining to sewer service charges. Be it enacted by the City Council of the City of Cresco, Iowa as follows. Section 1, Chapter 99, Sections 2 and 3 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa are repealed and the following adopted in lieu thereof. 99.02 Rates for service. Each customer shall pay sewer service charge for the use of and for the service supplied by the municipal sanitary sewer system based upon the amount and rate of water consumed. Sewer service shall be furnished at the following monthly rates. Number 1A. Effective July 1st, 2022, $9.56 per 1,000 gallons within the city limits. The minimum bill is $14.34 based on 1,500 gallons. B, $19.12 per 1,000 gallons outside the city limits. Minimum bill is $28.67 based on 1,500 gallons. C, $8.55 per 1,000 gallons for high-volume users that are subject to industrial sewer rental agreements with the city. And D, $7.20 per pound per day BOD 5 times 30-day average BOD 5 for users subject to industrial sewer rental agreements within the city, where BOD 5 refers to biochemical oxygen demand. 99.03, the Capital Improvement Fund. A, $3.50 per month charge for special fund for the extension and maintenance of the sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water lines. Section 2, Severability Clause. If any section, provision, or part of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, such adjudication shall not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole or by any section, provision, or part thereof not adjudged invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, when effective, this ordinance shall be in effect from and after its final passage, approval, and publication as provided by law.
Move approval. Second.
Fortune.
Yes.
Creener.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
Buska.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3, resolution waiving the third reading and consideration of ordinance number 496 pertaining to sewer charges.
So moved. Second.
You were first? Sorry.
Yep. Jan and then.
Buska.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Creener.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
4, approval of the ordinance number 496 pertaining to sewer charges.
So moved.
Second.
McConnell.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
Buska.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Creener.
Yes.
Number 5, resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into industrial sewer rental agreement with the Vika Group Cresco facility. And that was the 30-page document, correct? Any questions on that or any discussion by anybody?
And they did come in, Avika came in and signed it today. So
Okay.
Read it way too many times.
What's that?
I said I read it way too many times.
Yeah.
you make the motion?
Rich?
Second.
And Amy?
Creener.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Buska.
Yes.
And Carmen.
Yes.
Number 6, motion to change the September 5th council meeting date to Wednesday, September 7th due to the holiday.
So moved.
Second.
Carmen.
Yes.
Buska.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
Creener.
Yes.
And Fortune.
Yes.
Number 7, Michelle, what I talked to you about, will that affect if we want to talk about that or change it? And I guess I'll say this first. So somebody came to me and the UTV ordinance for the state allows people to ride day and night. And we, in the city, have mandated that they have headlights, but they can't drive them at night.
Wait a minute, are we talking UTV? Number 7 is ATVs.
Oops. Yep, okay. You're right,
Yes.
sorry.
Oh.
What you're talking about will be
I'm-
number 10.
Okay, I'm ahead of myself, sorry. All right, so anyway, let's do 7 then. Public hearing to amend Chapter 75 in the City of Cresco Code of Ordinances pertaining to all-terrain vehicles and snowmobiles.
With the state taking over that, we really have no say in anything though, do we?
City ordinances can override the state ordinances.
We can delegate which streets they run on,
Yeah,
so,
Man, that
within
definitely
city
needs-
limits.
Definitely needs discussion then.
yeah.
So,
So you don't want to, because right now, we're going to keep disallowing ATVs on city
all-terrain
streets.
vehicle, but that's your four-wheelers, your
Not the UTVs, which is Rangers
just-
and,
That definition is, if you straddle it, it's an ATV,
right.
all-terrain.
So the original three-wheelers and four-wheelers are considered an ATV?
yes,
The new ones with the roll bars that can haul
the
4 people?
Rangers, the
That's a UTV.
quad, yeah, that's a
You have a
UTV.
steering wheel and like a bench seat or
Yeah,
then that's a
more of a
UTV.
more of a
So
vehicle.
what we want to pass here, you're saying we want to,
We're going to keep it the way it is now, not allowing four-wheelers on city streets,
No, not,
ATVs.
not all, yeah, not all
ATVs.
not all
ATVs.
city
Correct.
streets.
The ATVs, the
The
UTVs are
straddles.
separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood, thank you.
So we're just setting the public hearing now, so that's like the September 7th, we
Yeah.
just set at 5:30.
Okay.
Fortune,
Yes.
Kreener,
Yes.
Carmen,
Yes.
McConnell,
Yes.
and Buska.
Yes.
Number 8, first reading of the summary of proposed ordinance number 498 to amend Chapter 75 in the City of Cresco Code of Ordinances pertaining to all-terrain vehicles and snowmobiles. Below is a summary of ordinance 498. A full copy of said ordinance may be obtained between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. weekdays at City Hall, 130 North Park Place, Cresco, Iowa 52136, or on the city's website, www.cityofcresco.com. Section 1, Chapter 75.03, 75.05, and 75.08 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa is amended as summarized below. Iowa Code Section 321I.10 was amended to allow a city to designate which streets may be used for the operation of registered ATV within the city limits. The City of Cresco does not allow for the operation of an ATV, off-road motorcycle, or snowmobile on any streets within the city. Exceptions and rules are listed in Chapter 75 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa, and include agricultural purposes and snow removal. Section 2, Severability Clause. If any section, provision, or part of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, such adjudication shall not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole or any section, provision, or part thereof not adjudged invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, when effective, this ordinance shall be in effect from and after its final passage, approval, and publication as provided by law.
Move approval.
Second.
Buska,
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Kreener.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
All right, number 9 is to set the public hearing to amend Chapter 74, City Code of, or City of Cresco Code of Ordinances pertaining to golf carts and UTVs. And that's, I guess, what I was talking about. So, somebody came to me and they said, you know, we've got to have lights on them, but we can't drive them after dark in the City of Cresco. In the summertime, I mean, it's light a lot. In the wintertime, it's dark at 4:30. And I know people driving to work and stuff like that, so I told them I would bring it up. Right now, the code as written does not allow operation after sunset. So just, if anybody has any thoughts on that?
Any feedback from the police on it? I mean, they're the ones that are going to deal with it. So you're talking three-wheelers and golf carts after dark?
No.
UTVs.
UTVs after?
Only
Yeah.
UTVs.
Only
not
UTVs,
golf
not golf
carts.
carts, yeah. Yeah. And I think most of them come with lights and brake lights and
Yeah.
blinkers and all that stuff.
Unsure about the blinkers, but definitely
Yeah.
headlights, taillights.
Some of them are
brake
bigger than Amy's blue car.
Yeah, that's true. And
You need
more
lights up,
polluting.
you gotta-
Yeah,
And noisier.
yeah. Yeah,
Well, except that, okay, they shall not be operated in a city street unless it's incidental to agriculture. It's used as a,
That's ATVs though.
yeah.
That's the
AT
ATV.
We're
And-
talking.
I'm talking
Oh, okay.
UTVs.
Okay, sorry, now I'm in.
It's very confusing. So if you look at the 74.06, it says golf carts and UTVs may be operated on city streets only between sunrise and sunset, except that a UTV may be operated during prohibited hours to perform snow removal or agricultural activities. So what the mayor is wondering is if we should revise that paragraph to allow UTVs after dark, before sunrise.
That's what was asked of me. I don't own one, so.
Well, if they get a lot better mufflers,
There
I
are
mean, they're noisy.
hundreds of them.
Mhm,
I mean, they've taken over the streets.
mhm.
It's not uncommon to sit at night and,
Yeah,
8, 9, 10 of them run through and maybe one vehicle.
COVID helped that.
Yeah, that'll slow it down a little bit. I know, I got a couple of neighbors that drive them religiously every day,
Mhm.
back and forth to work, have for years. Before dark and after dark, so,
And I think in the wintertime, it's more prone to happen just because there's less sunlight.
yeah, yeah.
But it's up to you five, I guess, either way, so. If you don't want to mess with it, then we'll move forward. If you want to think about it, we can wait a month too, I guess.
We have discussion on it,
You can just,
wait a month and
Well, we don't have to wait a month. We'll just,
Or
we
wait.
can table the first reading until
Next meeting.
next meeting.
Sure.
You can have the public hearing
We can
next
still have a
meeting.
public hearing, but I'm gonna have to know how you want it written
right.
for the public hearing.
So that would be handy tonight or
So it'd be
before the
nice
next.
if we, made the decision before the next meeting, we could move on it, but otherwise. The big reason for me pushing all of these 3 ordinance changes is because the state code changed July 1st. So we're playing catch-up to try to
Yeah.
amend our ordinance so that we're in compliance.
And you said that you looked and the state allows day and night travel, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But cities can have the.
Yep.
rights every certain-
Yeah. Like I said, I don't have one, so I don't have any skin in the game, I guess, but,
I had been approached about after dark and before, because they drive them to work. I was approached actually a few years ago about it, and then we'd gone through and we had discussed it at that time too, which I hear them I'm just like Gary, I hear them at night before and after sunset, so
yeah, they're just all over. And it ain't bad, the majority of them, but some of these guys are putting these muffler kits and stuff on them, high exhaust, and you do want to be the stick in the mud, but I mean,
the other side to that too, I mean, we've got loud motorcycles too
Yeah.
that buzz through town that don't know how to shift apparently. But the one thing that I've noticed too is our general rules, as far as age of operation, dark windows, those types of things are not really, I see more and more of them with kids driving them that appear under the age of 16 in dark windows. And if we're going to hold them to the same standard as vehicles on the road, we need to hold them to the same standard.
have you guys stopped anybody that you're aware of on the police department? Any trouble with them?
As far, I'm sorry, well, as far as what?
The UTVs, stopping at stop signs, speeding, running through.
So, I haven't personally, but I know that there's a couple officers that have. I haven't really came in encounter with any trouble with them as far as I'm aware of, other than the other officers. They seem to be doing good. There's I know one of the officers mentioned the other day that they saw somebody pretty young driving it, but they weren't working. So other than that, I don't know if it's that big of an issue. I guess we haven't had any complaints from the
Yeah.
public either.
I guess, if they adhere to the same traffic rules and regulations as any other licensed motor vehicle out there, really, you set your roads and...
Do you have to be 16 and have a driver's license to operate one, is that correct? I think
I
that's
think it's
actually.
18.
I
isn't
thought
it?
it said 18 years or older, but I gotta make sure with the.
I'm pretty sure that's what the state code is.
Yes.
Is 18.
Yep.
So we'd be adhering to the state code then.
State code, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can't make it more lenient than the state code, so I'm pretty sure it's 18.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I've read that, but with the new code, I'm a little iffy on that quite yet.
Yep.
Somewhere I've got it, I think.
Any other thoughts or questions?
I just object to the noise, if they'd make them quieter. I mean, it looks like they have a muffler on them, right?
They do. They do.
But they sure don't do very much.
The reason you're hearing more noise is because it's a CVT system, so what it does is it goes up to peak RPM, or higher RPM, and it sustains higher RPM. That's how the drive system works. It's no different than a snowmobile, and so it in turn makes more noise.
So yeah, the state code looks like you have to be 18 years old and you cannot exceed 35 miles an hour.
Oh, come and sit on my street.
So,
35 miles an hour on all roads?
I believe so. Does that sound right?
That's the state code. Yeah, they drive down the highway.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
So what are we looking for today then? Just,
It's up to you guys if you want to proceed as is, or if you want to think about changing it. We can look at it next month, or next meeting.
what are we gonna be able to really change except noise or?
The
Well, we can
operation of
change
hours.
It's the hours of
So that
operation.
UTVs
I mean, because
can be
the
operated.
complaint is, I would be really, really angry if somebody next to my bedroom window, which in some cases there are, started one up at 6 in the morning.
Oh, going to work and
Yeah.
starting one up. Well, you'd be an early riser.
I really don't think there's nothing we can do to stop as long as they got state approval. We just got to determine, keep them off school roads, stuff like that during school hours, that type of thing. Or
No, we can
You
make
still
something more
designate the
strict than
streets
the
and you
state
can
code.
designate the time, so we can be more restrictive than the state.
I don't know if kids are taking them to school, probably not if you have to be 18, but
Right.
No.
They're doing it legally.
if you want to table it till next meeting and think about it, that's up to you.
Yeah,
If you want.
let's table it.
Make a motion to table to the next meeting? I'll be the motion, so one second.
I'll second it.
Do you want to have the public hearing, or do you want to determine how you want to do it?
I'd like to just ask some more questions of different people outside of,
Can we have the public hearing and not have the ordinance to read?
So I could have two options. One, the way it's written, and then the one with it. And then you decide after the public hearing which way you want to go. And that would give people a chance to come and voice their opinion.
Yeah,
Okay, that sounds good.
Does that sound okay?
that sound fair?
So you need a motion for that?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to scratch number 9 and number 10.
Okay.
No, I thought we were setting the public hearing
Oh,
and
so sorry.
scratching number
You're
10.
right.
So you want a motion to set it at September 7th at 5:30? I'll make that motion.
Second it.
McConnell,
Yes.
Carmen,
Yes.
Buska,
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
And Creener.
Yep.
Then we'll scratch number 10.
All right, number 11, resolution approving the change order number 1 for the pickleball court project for the city of Cresco, Iowa.
They originally had spec'd out movable nets and posts for the pickleball courts. But when they went to order them, they are really back ordered. So he suggested that if we went with permanent posts, that we'd be able to get those much sooner, and they would be a cheaper, $3,800 cheaper than the other. since we're going to have fences around all those courts, I don't see any reason why we'd want to move them. So I said that I thought we would just go ahead with the change order, save ourselves some money and get the permanent posts.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I see already they're putting the fence up today, is on with the cement.
Cartman?
Yes.
Buska?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
Greener?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
I'm going to break from the agenda for a second here. So we already covered yours, if you're here for that. Sorry, I didn't think about that before.
I
Yep.
was like 2 minutes late.
Yep, and that, it was in the first 2 minutes, so, okay. And what was your name again?
John, wait.
John, all right, nice to meet you. You're the owner?
Yes, sir.
Yep, welcome to Cresco.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great experience so far.
Yep, good, looking forward to it. So, yeah, we're not going to talk about you anymore tonight, so.
I'll try to hit the road then.
Yep, okay, all right,
But no, I appreciate that.
yeah, all right, thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, number 12, resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an agreement with Blink Charging for processing EV charging station payments. What do we know about the charging station when it's going to be completed?
So it's here, right?
Yep.
And-
Just
oh,
waiting
go ahead.
just waiting for Dale to find time to be able to install it.
Okay,
So, I mean, it could be honestly any day. He might just call me and say, I have time, I'm gonna start it, so.
It would be really nice. Nate and I have been communicating about the possibility of getting it in before National EV Week, which is the last week in September, I
Correct.
think.
Yep,
and which corner of the parking lot's it going to be in again?
southeast.
Southeast, okay.
Yep.
All right, that fairway, all right.
Yep,
I'll make the
So
motion.
what this will allow us to do is Blink will take the payments, so once we decide how we're gonna bill for it, people will use a credit card, and then this company will process it and then electronically deposit the funds into our account. So this is authorizing them to do that.
Okay.
And some of the other things we need to do is like the parking ordinance, because it'll be restricted parking and stuff like that.
Okay,
So I'll second it. Amy on
Yeah.
me.
all right.
Fortune?
Yes.
Greener?
Yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
And Buska?
Yes.
Number 13, set public hearing to amend Chapter 41 in the City of Cresco Code of Ordinances pertaining to the sale of fireworks.
So our next meeting again?
September 7th?
Okay,
And second?
I'll second.
Buska?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
Greener?
Yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
14, first reading of the proposed ordinance number 500 to amend Chapter 41 in the City of Cresco Code of Ordinances pertaining to the sale of fireworks.
So the state code, all they did was, they will not allow a city to restrict the sale of consumer fireworks to, within a certain district. So our ordinance had restricted it to districts zoned as commercial C1, C2, or M1, and we cannot do that, so I have to erase that. So we're not changing anything except eliminating one line in the ordinance.
And the commercial fireworks is what the tents that are set up and stuff, right?
So they could set up in somebody's yard, or would that violate
So
a
the
business?
crazy part of the law change is that we can still make them get a permit and we can deny where they want to put it. But our ordinance cannot say it can only be in certain zones. Don't ask me.
How would it,
So you could set up, you could have 10,000 pounds of fireworks in your garage in a residential area?
So what
Under
the
state law.
police chief is worried about, well, and that might be part of the reason why they wouldn't be able to have that much, because we have combustible and flammable ordinances, not allowing that in residential areas. So we could deny it if they're gonna have too much that would be in violation of the flammable. So,
In other words, we can regulate it through the back door, but not the front door.
correct.
Well, if that's what the state says in their infinite wisdom, I'll make the motion.
Oh,
I'll read
to
it first.
Oh, sorry. Not that we can do
Be it
anything
enacted
about
by the City Council of the City of Cresco, Iowa as follows. Section 1, Sections Modified, Chapter 41.13, Section 5.A1 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa are modified and the following adopted in lieu thereof. 41.13 Fireworks. Number 5, Sales. No person shall sell or offer for sale consumer fire-grade fireworks, sale consumer-grade fireworks without first securing a retail fireworks license through the State Fire Marshal's Office for the State of Iowa. A, city permit. An application must be filed with City Hall that includes the location and dates for the sale of fireworks. 2, severability clause. If any section, provision, or part of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, such adjudication shall not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole or any section, provision, or part thereof not adjudged invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, when effective, this ordinance shall be in effect from and after its final passage, approval, and publication by law.
So moved.
Second?
McConnell?
Yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
Buska?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
And Creener?
Yes.
So if that was ordinance number 500, do you know when the first one was done?
I don't know.
All right. Because we do them in numerical order, right?
Yep.
Number 15, motion to assign council members to Personnel Committee. I guess we've talked about this from time to time. We can, in the past, it's been 2 council members and the mayor. And I think, Michelle, you sit in on it, correct? Or not always?
If they ask me to.
Okay. I'm not opposed to starting a personnel committee again. I would like the rules and the expectations to be drawn out and known and moving forward, and I would like that as well. So, any thoughts or questions?
Yeah, there definitely's got to be some rules.
So that's
You know, I
city
mean-
work session on the agenda for the work session,
You know,
is
how
to set the
far-
parameters.
We can make the motion, but yeah, when does the personnel committee get involved and at what level? And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
because I just
Yeah.
don't want the personnel committee to turn into something that just gets shuffled off. You know, we're supervisors and managers, you follow the chain of authority, and this will be the last straw with the personnel committee.
Almost, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because the actual last straw is the whole council.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
understood.
So, any who wants to be on the committee or doesn't want to be on the committee, we can need 2, so.
I know Alex volunteered the last time.
Yeah, I can be on it. I'm probably a meeting short compared to everybody else, so I have no problem doing that. I was on it previously, so.
And that has to be determined before we get into our work session, or this, who's going to be on it? And
I put it on this agenda, so.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to, I guess. If somebody wants to table it, that can happen too until we get the parameters settled too, I guess. I'm not.
Well, the problem is it's not on the other agenda.
Well,
so
we could move it till the next meeting if
Yeah.
nobody wanted to do it tonight.
I'd like to have a little more discussion on where we're going with this, and then make a decision.
Okay,
I would too.
you would do? Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I think we should table.
Somebody want to make that, do we need a motion or?
I'll make the motion.
You don't need it.
Don't need it, okay. All right, that was the last thing on the agenda tonight. If somebody wants to make a motion.
To adjourn, so moved.
Second.
Carmen?
Yes?
Buska?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
Creener?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
Thank you.